Greetings and welcome to Connecting with Intent Formula Show. I am your host Muhammad Awais. On this episode, we have a very special guest, Aditya Guthey. He is communication expert, speaker, and the performance coach for engineers, award-winning speaker, and storyteller. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Aditya Guthey. Aditya, welcome.
Muhammad. It's a pleasure.
Okay, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Great question. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today? Wow, that's a loaded question, but let me try to answer that in a few sentences. Where I was originally from is Andhra Pradesh, India. That's where I was born and raised. Um, and I was surrounded with my family members and a lot of friends, some of them who were really mean. And probably those mean people or mean friends are the ones who inspired me to do what I'm doing today. Growing up, I used to have a lot of pimples, right? So people used to, some of my friends used to call me Gajmohan Ravido, which means scar-faced guy, right? And I also has, crooked teeth, so people used to call me Turipallo Ravido, or sometimes I also um, had a stutter, so I couldn't speak even my own language, Telugu, without stuttering. So people used to, not for better video in my own language, right? So all of this bullying that I've undergone made me super less confident. I was socially anxious, scared. I wouldn't be able to communicate effectively with anyone because I was always nervous and very stressed out about being bullied. Right. So I think what has shifted and what inspired me to do what doing today is that inability to express myself. And that all the challenges I've faced, and whereas my desires are, I want to be able to speak to a lot of people. I always wanted to be on stage. I was inspired by many of my great heroes, or my teachers who were great at motivational talks. I wanted to be like them. So all of these people inspired me to be who I am today, helping others who might be facing similar challenges as I faced growing up.
Oh, excellent, excellent. What is your higher purpose in life?
Higher purpose in life. Again, that's a great question, and um, a pretty tough question to answer. And it changes for me in general. Higher purpose in life is to experience joy. Ultimately, you want to be able to do a lot of different things, right? I want to be able to help others, and um, I want to be able to help others become effective communicators, and all of these uh, ultimately are is meant to help me experience joy. So I would say experience joy in life is the higher purpose behind everything that I do.
What have been top three greatest challenges that you have had to overcome?
Um, do, Let me start with my first greatest challenge. Would be a feeling of not good enough because like I said, I faced a lot of bullying growing up. So I always had this feeling that someone else is better than me. Especially growing up in South India, there's a lot of bias around the color of your skin. So you have to be light skinned in order to be successful. Or also, all of these were my mental barriers that I had to overcome in order to be able to feel that I am enough. I am enough, and I can do everything I want with who I am, and I don't anything, and I don't need anything more. I would say that is one of the biggest challenge, which is my mindset block. And within mindset blocks, there are several mindset blocks I had to overcome. And that I'm that I can speak good enough, that I don't look good enough. All of these are the different blocks I had to overcome.
Yeah, excellent. What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Greatest failure story. Wow. This is a good one. So I would say the greatest failure story would be when I started coaching in 2018. Within a year, I wanted to start my own business. I wanted to deliver talks. I wanted to, you know, yeah, grow my business. And everyone was like, dude, you don't have enough experience and so on. But I did not care. I was ready to jump the gun, and I did. But um, what happened was I couldn't turn it into a successful business. Right? There was a lot of resistance. I was delivering talks, I was doing all the right things, but I was not able to attract um, any clients. There was no traction to anything that I'm posting on the internet and so on. And honestly, it's a challenge to a certain extent I still face, but it's been much better than what I was experiencing in 2018. So that I would say would be my biggest failure. However, I don't never even saw that as a failure, even though not even though it is right. For 2 years I have given everything to my business, but nothing came out of my business. But the way I was able to recover from it is not necessarily by looking at it as a failure, by instead by looking at it as a path, as some form of learning. The lessons I got from it is plenty. That my message has to be sharper. That there's a whatever I learned in my coach training school to become a coach is not necessarily exactly translates to a business. I have to learn a lot more skills than what I was educated on in my 1 year of coach training school. And there's a certain way I have to communicate to my audience and so on. There's several things that I learned from it, and that's exactly what I've been doing. Where I started getting traction and getting more opportunities to serve others. So I would say that's how I recovered from it, by looking at the failure as a learning path, and understood what I have learned from those failures.
Wow, excellent. And what is the impactful business book you have read and what did you learn from it?
Um, there are several books I read. It's hard to pinpoint one book, and then especially because my memory is too bad. Let me tell you about the recent book I've read, which was a book by Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. Yes, I think that's one of the recent books I've read. Again, it varies from time to time. I pick up different insights from different books, but one um, of the in this particular book, Chris Voss talks about how to be able to negotiate effectively, how to be able to resolve a conflict effectively, and that's one of the things many of my clients face. I faced is how to disagree effectively, how to be able to negotiate effectively instead of without burning the bridges. I'd say that's one of the most recent books that sticks in my mind.
What are your goals for the next 12 months?
Yeah, I think one of the I said I learned a lot about growing a business over the past 4 years, and one of the things I've been doing is I got by um, universe grace, I was able to coach over 100 tech professionals and tech leaders all over the country, all over the USA, and I learned a lot about helping other tech professionals and tech leaders, and because of how I approach many of my coaching conversations. The feedback I get from these clients is incredible. Some of them describe 2022 as one of their best years in their entire life because of coaching. Some of them got promotions because of coaching. Some of them completely shifted to a different career because of coaching to do things that they love. So incredible things happen. And what my primary goal over the next 12 months is really to be able to put myself out there, right? Being able to do more podcasts like this to spread the message, because it's one thing you can be great at what you do, but if people don't know about what you do, it's pointless. So that's my goal, is to put myself out there so I can be more visible, help a lot more people, and yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Uh, what advice you will give to younger yourself?
Yeah, one of the main advice I would give is to tell my younger self that you are enough. Many people might say you have to be this person in order to be liked. You have to be this. You have to make a lot of money so people will respect you, or you have to uh, look a certain way. Maybe that's becoming light skinned, or wearing certain types of clothes, or talking in a certain way, or going to a certain school so people will like and respect you. And that, because of that, it can also diminish your confidence, because not everyone is meant to be that person that the society admires. And instead, that you have to look at what are the things that make you happy, and you really have to start from that fundamental place of what are the things that makes you happy, and don't worry about, don't even bother about what society tells you what you need to do. I wish, if I did that, if I learned that, in my early age, a lot of trauma that I faced could have been avoided.
How we can support you?
I guess follow me on LinkedIn. I'd love to stay engaged. I would love to, learn about you a little bit. Also, see how I can support you. Um, so my LinkedIn is, you can search for my name, Aditya Guthey, on LinkedIn, and you'll show up. I post consistently on LinkedIn, engaging with my posts, and also you posting what's on your mind on LinkedIn. It will also give me an opportunity to engage with your content.
Okay. What would you say about your guest appearance on this show?
It was great. It's been a long time since I did this show, these shows, and this is what my intention is, to do more of these. So it's great, and I love the questions. And Muhammad, yeah, you were great. So thank you for reaching out and also setting this show with me.
Thank you so much for your kind words. What closing thoughts would you like to share with our listeners?
The closing thoughts is, what my one of my own biggest passion is, help people become effective communicators. And one of the things is, in order to be effective communicator, you have to be comfortable in your own skin, being able to, irrespective of where you come from, which part of the country, in small village, or big town or big city, doesn't matter. It starts with being comfortable in your own skin. So don't let anyone tell you that you're not enough, that you have to be like somebody else, that people who grew up in the city are better than you, anything like that, right? So instead, it starts with recognizing your own strengths. I think that's the message I would like to leave your audience with, Muhammad.
Thank you so much, Aditya, for sharing your wisdom with us on the behalf of connecting with Intent Formula community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Muhammad Awais. Until the next episode, all good wishes.